right here on Hip Hop Connection. I have the one and only Cassidy. What's going on, man?
What's up with you? I'm happy to be here.
Man, glad to have you. Glad to have you. You got a lot of good things going on right now. Tell us a little bit about the new album.
The new album is called Cash, and I'm so excited because it's finally done. The streets been waiting for it for a long time.
Right.
I executive produced the album myself.
Okay.
It's on my production company, Larceny Family Entertainment. I got distribution through E1 now.
All right.
And I got a partnership with Carmelo Anthony that plays for the Denver Nuggets.
Right.
So I'm excited because before my albums came out on the production company that I was signed to, Full Surface Records with Swiss Beats.
Right.
And I was signed to J Records, Sony BMG. So now that I'm released from that, I was able to get my own situation, my own production company, executive, produce it, bring it together myself. The verses, I wrote 100% of the verses. I even wrote some choruses that I got the R&B feature singing.
Wow.
So, and I did some production on this album too. I produced the record. I co-produced a few records, but I produced a record completely called Music in My Blood that's on the album too.
So you just was doing it all, man. You got your hands in everything.
Yeah, trying to.
How's it feel to be in that type of situation as opposed to, you know, being under someone else, now you under your own thing? How's that feel?
Well, it's a beautiful transition, but at the end of the day, when I first got my record deal, when I first signed the Full Surface and the J Records, I was about 18 years old or something like that.
Right.
So I needed executive producers, A&Rs. I needed them budgets that they was bringing to the table, and I needed to learn the business. So that was a good situation for me then.
Right.
But I've been in the game for over a decade now since then. You know what I'm saying? And I learned a lot of the game, the game now like the back of my hand.
Okay.
So I don't really need people to play as much of a part as I needed them to play before.
All right.
So the same way how Swiss Beats used to be with Rough Riders, and then he branched off and started his own production company with me.
Right.
It's the same way I started off with him, and I branched off and just generated a new source of income. That's it.
I hear you. I hear you. Now, who are some of the people you gonna bring out under your label?
I got a guy named Chubby Jag. He's from South Central California.
Okay.
And he's incredible, like lyrically. I couldn't believe that he was from the West Coast, the way he put together his lyrics and his bars.
Really?
And he's featured on my new album. I got a song with him and Red Cafe.
All right.
And then I got A.R. Ab. He's from North Philadelphia. That was my homie even before I started doing music from back in the day.
Okay.
And he's on the album too. I got a song called I'm a G-Boy with him. And then I got Nayla Ball. She's from London. She comes over to America a lot so we could get the music done, but she still lives in London.
Wow.
And she's singing, she rap. She's on the album too, a song that I got called She Addicted. So I tried to put them all on the album and give them all, you know what I'm saying, they little light. And at the top of the year, I plan to drop a Larceny Family project to give them even more, you know what I'm saying, opportunity to get their shine on.
Man, you just busy, just real busy.
Yeah, I'm trying to stay working, man. I let up for a few years, you know what I'm saying, because I was trying to get the business together and trying to get everything situated. So I wasn't really going as hard as I could possibly go on the radio, on TV, in the magazines and things like that. So now that I got the opportunity to go hard, I ain't trying to let up no more.
I hear you. I hear you. When we come back from this music break, man, we're going to talk a little bit about how you got started in the game.
All right.
Back here on Hip Hop Connection with Cassidy.
Yeah.
How'd the rap career get started, man?
Well, I started off rapping because my mom and my father used to rap before I was born. My dad had a record on the radio in Philly back in the day, but he could never take it to the next level. But he always was trying to. He might even still be rapping to this day, trying to get his foot in the door and things like that. And my mom used to support him, and she used to write raps and do her thing too. So I grew up, you know, listening to it and being a part of it. So when I was like 5, 6 years old, I used to go over my best friend's house and you know, Genesis, the video game.
Right.
On Genesis, when you used to put on the go to options, you could be able to play the soundtrack, like all the beats that was on the actual game.
Okay.
So that's how we used to make our songs. Those was our instrumentals that we used to use. And I used to put together songs when I was about 6, 7 years old.
Wow.
But I started taking it serious when I was about 13.
Okay.
I write like every week or every 2 weeks. I would put something together, and I really started going hard, like writing every day and going over my music every day and really taking it seriously when I turned about 15 years old.
Wow, man. So you just grinding for a minute.
And how I made the transition from the streets to being in the industry was it was this radio show in Philly called The Cypher, where you call up and you rap against other people that rap.
Okay.
And I heard about that, so I called up and I won the first night. and I became the champion, and then I started winning and winning. I won for months straight. I won so much that they retired me. They took me off and made me an analyst. So instead of me battling, I would just give my opinion on the battle that they had that night.
Oh, that had
and
to
that's
feel
how I was
good.
able to get familiar with the industry, how it go. They would give me backstage passes, so I was able to meet a lot of people in the industry and things like that. So I met a guy named TD the Negotiator in Philadelphia. He was Swiss Beats' father, and DNY, the CEOs of Rough Riders, was his brothers.
Okay.
So he was the one that introduced me to them, and that's how I got my first record deal with Rough Riders, through him.
Wow. And then of course history.
Yeah, that's how I met Swiss and got the full service situation, and then, you know.
Now, you've cranked out a lot of hits and a lot of good songs.
Definitely.
How does it feel to get in the studio and you working with the various producers that you work with, and you hear something and you like, yeah, that's gonna be it right there?
Yeah, yeah, that's how it happened. Sometimes it might be the first beat they play. They might got something crazy for you in mind, so they might play the first beat and you like, yeah, that's it. But then certain times it might be 45 minutes that pass, you listening to different music. It might be the beat that they don't even like, that they don't even really want to play for you. They might play it 1 second of it and try to skip past it, and you're like, nah, bring that back. You're like, nah, I don't want to hear that. I'm like, nah, let me hear that. Bring that one back. And they bring that back, and that's the one. You know what I'm saying? Actually, it was like that. Neo the Matrix is a producer that I've been working with since my first album. He was on every one of my albums.
Okay.
And he's on this album. He did a record called Paper Up, and he did a record called All Day All Night with me and Game, his featured Game. But the Paper Up beat is like, that's like my favorite record. That's actually gonna be the next record that I run with and go hard with.
Okay.
And I love that beat, but that was a beat that he tried to skip over. He wasn't confident in it or nothing like that. He thought I wasn't going to like it, but turned out to be my favorite beat. Cool. So, you know, it comes different ways, you know what I'm saying, when you're in the studio, depending on the producer, depending on how many projects they got on the table, you know what I'm saying. But I've been in there with the best of them, you know what I'm saying, to try to pick the best type of music.
So who are some of the other producers you work with on the new album?
Well, I told you I'm producing now, and I got a production team. I got a kid called Stupid on the Beats. He's the future. He's the next guy. You know what I'm saying? So I did a lot of work with him. I work with these two kids from Connecticut named Top Notch.
Okay.
I work with a lot of new producers because I wanted a new sound.
All right.
I work with a new kid named Vinyls. Bink was on my last album. He did a song I did called Damn I Missed the Game.
Okay.
And he's on this album too. He did the Face to Face record, and he did a record I got called Monster Music.
All right.
And I was working with a few other producers, Boy Wonder and things like that.
Cool.
You know what I'm saying? Just to come up with a well-rounded new type of sound that you're not used to.
Definitely, definitely.
And
now,
excuse me, I didn't mean to cut you off,
no
but
problem.
another thing I wanted to do was prove to the world that I could make a hit on my own. Like, you know what I'm saying? A lot of the times I had hit records before, but sometimes the features that get a lot of the credit, or the producer Swiss Beats to get a lot of the credit. So I wanted to just separate myself and prove to the world that I could make a hit record on my own.
And you got one right here that you're gonna perform for us in a minute.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Wild
Drum
and bass. That's loving that song, loving that. So
thanks a lot.
Definitely want to hear that. But before we go to the performance, let me know, how can people around the world get your music, find out what's going on with Cassidy?
Yeah, I'm on every website, so all you got to do is really Google me. But I'm on Twitter all the time. That's one thing I'm always on. Got it connected to my phone. I answer all the questions. I keep people informed to where they could get my music. I always put up links and things like that on Twitter. So that'd be the best place to get in contact with me. And my Twitter name is Cassidy, CASSIDY _Larceny, LARSINY.
Okay.
And if you want to, like, if you're a promoter or you a artist that's trying to get a feature, or you want to book me for a show or anything anywhere around the world, you could get in contact with me at lanskymanagement@gmail. That's LANSKY management@gmail.
There you go. Everybody got that?
Yeah.
Write it down. Put it in your phone.
Yeah.
Hit him up because he's ready.
Definitely. I'm always